You're out for a ride on the Eglinton LRT today, or really anywhere in the city. Hopefully, you bundled up. Extreme cold warnings remain in effect across the GTA. For more on this, let's bring in our weather specialist, Noor Afat. Noor, when do we expect this deep freeze to end?
Hey, thanks very much, Kevin. I promise it is coming very soon. In fact, as early as Tuesday in Toronto, although judging from how temperatures feel right now, I know many community members are finding that hard to believe. We're still sitting through a brutal amount of cold here in southwestern, southern, eastern Ontario, which are still under those extreme cold warnings. Wind chill values overnight tonight and into tomorrow morning at -30 to -40. So it's going to be quite another unforgiving time heading out the door on Monday to school, to work. Hope you're prepared for that. We have seen improvements, though, in other areas. So the gusting winds that we saw yesterday, they have calmed down, and that has meant that the snow squalls out towards Goderich, London, Ontario, Niagara Falls, and Buffalo, those have also died down, and we're barely seeing any specks on our pinpoint radar. Speaking of snow squalls, Lake Erie almost 100% frozen over for the first time in almost 2 decades, thanks to that brutal stretch of cold conditions that we've seen. And that's both a good and a bad thing. Good in the sense that it gives less fuel for lake enhancement and lake effect snow, so less accumulations, less chance of seeing those snow squalls. But the bad news is we get less of a shield from the Arctic air or the Arctic conditions. So we'll see more colder temperatures potentially once we see more of those lakes start to freeze over. A lot of sunshine today. Certainly that was a big draw for many community members that actually decided to go outside. Heading into the day tomorrow, less of a chance to see that sunshine. So we're clouding over, some snow around parts of Cottage Country and in the east, but Tuesday will be the messy one as we see a fast-moving system with some freezing rain and mixed precipitation associated with it. So we'll talk more in the full forecast. For now, something to look forward to tomorrow, of course, ahead of Bad Bunny Sunday. Happy Bad Bunny Sunday, guys. Is climbing temperatures, -6 by 11 o'clock. We're almost there, guys. But we still have to get through a tough wind chill in the morning at -29. Kevin?
Thanks, Noor. All right, well, let's get a little look at the long-term-ish weather with Noor Afat. Of course, there's this real weather inversion, let's say, that's happening across the country. Tell us about it.
Yeah, I like that term, Kevin, because it really does describe what we're expecting in the next 1 to 2 weeks, which is milder temperatures for many that have been suffering in the east from that cold. And then colder temperatures for those in the prairies and western Canada that have been treated to spring and summer-like conditions. All that to look forward to as we also look forward to the Super Bowl. Let's take a look. I promise the warm-up is coming. Better days are ahead. We'll be rewarded for our patience. Although when you head out the door tomorrow morning, you'll probably thinking, how is that even possible? It's not going to feel like a reward because those wind chill values once again at or near -30. Temperatures climbing as the day progresses, hitting your high at actually 11 o'clock, which is also not that great because you're probably going to be sleeping. But it's an improvement from those highs into the minus double digits like we saw this weekend. Now, as early as Tuesday in Toronto and in other parts of southern Ontario, we will see those temperatures climb above the freezing mark, and that will be the first time for Toronto to see those temperatures climb above the freezing mark in 24 days. So quite a feat that we're expecting here, and many will welcome it with open arms after that stretch of cold that we're experiencing in the east. Quite the opposite for those in the prairies. They expect another week of very mild temperatures nearing the double digits again in Calgary before they start to see those temperatures tumble closer to seasonal heading into the following week. So it'll be late February for them when they start to see that shift into cooler conditions. Taking a look at your day tomorrow, not as much sunshine, unfortunately, although you will see some sunny breaks in the morning. Periods of snow around the evening hours in areas like Tweed, Apsley, could be possible into Ottawa as well. And then as you head into Tuesday, this messy system rolls in. We're going to see mostly wet snow, but there is a chance to see some freezing rain, mixed precipitation as well around maybe London, Ontario, potentially into Niagara Falls. Hard to say, but the timing of it will be difficult because it moves into the overnight and into your early morning commute. For the GTHA, it's a fast-moving one, though. So as you can see, by the afternoon, it's into Kingston, areas like Peterborough, Ottawa, and into Bancroft as well, and then it moves out. But we will see lingering bands, potentially some snow squall activity heading into your Tuesday and into your Wednesday as well, and we'll also see those winds pick up. By that time, of course, we will see that big shift in temperature, so some of those snowy regions, we'll be looking at wet snow. For the most part, though, now heading into a colder than usual day tomorrow, with highs into the -8s. Vaughan, Newmarket, Peterborough, -7, a popular number in Mississauga, Oshawa, and into Cobourg. +2 on Tuesday, 1 on Wednesday, a brief return to seasonal temperatures Thursday and Friday, and then we get up to, once again, +1s Saturday and Sunday.
Who's been outside tonight, make sure to stay bundled up as extreme cold warnings remain in effect across the GTA. For more on this, let's bring in our weather specialist, Noor Rafat. Noor, when do we expect this deep freeze to end?
Hey, thanks very much, Kevin. Well, I promise that relief is coming very, very soon, as early as this. Although I know, judging from temperatures right now and judging from the wind chills right now, many of you guys probably don't believe me. Feeling close to -24 with the wind chill out at this hour. Extreme cold warnings continue, as Kevin mentioned, around southwestern, southern, eastern, and even parts of central Ontario. Wind chill values at around -30 to -40 overnight tonight and into tomorrow morning. So we're still in for a difficult 12 hours at least, and tomorrow a slight improvement in those temperatures. We have seen a big improvement, though, for the winds from how we were at the start of the weekend. If you remember, Toronto opened its weekend with 80 km/h wind gusts, and that continued to fuel snow squalls through the bulk of your Saturday. Well, those have since cleared, and we are seeing calmer conditions, drier conditions for many across the province. By the way, speaking of snow squalls, Lake Erie almost at 100% ice coverage for the first time in almost 2 decades. Now, that's both a good and a bad thing. Good thing because there's less fuel for that lake enhancement, so less of a chance to see some snow squalls and overwhelming snow amounts in the snowbelt. Bad news because that gives us less of a shield against aggressive temperatures. So expecting colder conditions the more that the Great Lakes start to freeze over. And speaking of freezing over, also many officials have been warning to stay off the ice. I know it's tempting given those cold temperatures, but we know no ice is safe ice. Well, a lot of beautiful sunshine today. Will not be as sunny tomorrow, although we will see slight sunny breaks in the GTHA. Dry conditions continue through bulk of southern Ontario before a messy system moves in on Tuesday. Now, the timing of this will be tricky because it will impact your morning commute on Tuesday, but for now, we're not expecting any snow heading into your day come tomorrow. Climbing temperatures as the day progresses. Hang in there, guys. We're almost there. Wind chill values in the morning, though, at -29. Kevin?
Thanks, Noor. The biggest night. All right, time for your weather forecast. And depending where you are in the country, well, your forecast is likely about to reverse over the next little bit. Noor Rafat's here to explain.
Yes, Kevin, reverse is a really good word to put it because in the east we've been suffering from that cold. We're set to see milder temperatures, some even climbing above the freezing mark. In the west, it's been all about the spring and summer-like temperatures.
Wow.
They are set to see a return to seasonal, if not below. I promise it's coming. The warm-up is happening. You might not feel it when you head out the door tomorrow because those wind chill values will be near the -30s yet again. But as the day progresses, -6 for the high. By 11 o'clock, you'll probably be sleeping, and that's vastly in China as we did today. Really hoping you took advantage of it, bundled up and headed outside, perhaps to watch some of those or take part in some of those fan fest events for the Winter Olympics. Now, a lot of us have been, of course, suffering in the east with that cold. Very different situation out west. Another week of almost double-digit, if not double-digit temperatures over there, and then they'll start to see a return to seasonal. So that switch up is happening from coast to coast, but at variable times. For us, as we see those temperatures climb, we'll also see some messy weather to go along with it, unfortunately. Not tomorrow, because we remain dry. Some snow around Bancroft, Apsley into the evening hours of tomorrow. And then this guy rolls around. There's snow, but there's also mixed precipitation and freezing rain associated with this system. So this could make for a bit of a dangerous situation outside, slippery situation. It moves moves into the overnight and early morning hours of Tuesday. So it's going to be a tricky time for that commute. It's a fast-moving system, though, so by the late morning, it'll already be in cottage country and into Kingston, and we will remain with some stubborn cloud cover and some on and off flurries as we head through the rest of your Tuesday and into your Wednesday. So we're expecting gradual accumulation, maybe 5 centimeters in the Toronto region, could be around the 10 centimeter range as you head towards areas like Muskoka and further east into areas like Peterborough. -8 in Orangeville tomorrow, Barrie -8, -7 a popular number, Cobourg, Oshawa, Pickering and into Mississauga. Here we are already +2 by Tuesday with that heavy snow, windy at 1 degree by Wednesday, a brief return to seasonal Thursday heading into Friday, and then by the weekend another